Good evening, my friend. Welcome to the show. I am Lou Mongello. Thank you so very much for joining me tonight. If you're watching me live, us live, together, do me a favor, grab a snack, get comfy, on the couch, on the chair, wherever you are. Unless you're driving, then don't get too comfortable. Invite a friend, tag them in the comments below. If you're watching on the replay, please join us every Wednesday and a few other times, live 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Super excited to be here. It is Thanksgiving Eve here in the United States, and really we should be thankful no matter where you are, what you celebrate. I don't think being thankful and grateful should be relegated to a single day, but I'll save all the weepy, sappy stuff until the very end when I'm overcome with emotion and hunger. It is good, as always, to see, with my glasses on, so many friends in the box. I see Melanie Jones is making apple pie, which, by the way, ships very, very well, just so you know. I'm always hungry. Heather Richards, Colin Kendall, Tweet, Stan Solo, Jason Miller, Sophie. Wow, everybody's here tonight, which means you're probably not hosting Thanksgiving. Otherwise, you would be cooking and baking and panicking. Chris Chapman says, "Huzza, Lou." Huzza back. I don't even know what that means. I'm assuming it's something good, and if I cursed, I apologize. Jessica, Jeremy, Peggy Teal, and yes, Jim Orohowski, always first in the box. Now I'm thinking about favorite pie. Is it what's your favorite pie for Thanksgiving? Is it apple pie or is it pumpkin pie? Do you do sweet potato pie? Apple or pumpkin? I'm going to give you two choices: apple or pumpkin, and both is a perfectly acceptable answer, by the way. Hello from soon-to-be-cold Adirondack Mountains. 7 days to Disney, says Bradford, Boyce, whatever. Bradford, good to see you. Carrie throwing in cherry into the mix. I'm a little pumpkin pie kind of guy. And by pumpkin pie, I mean lots and lots of pumpkin pie. Anyway, there's some sweet potatoes thrown in there, Dutch apple. Jim Orohowski being very specific with the Dutch apple pie. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff we've got to cover tonight on the show. Before I forget, as I give some of you guys time to come in, invite some friends. Pecan pie, Chris Chapman, perfectly acceptable answer, by the way. Glenn Robertson leaving for Disney on Friday. As we are kicking off the holiday season, I don't care what it is that you celebrate or how you celebrate it or whatever. It's the spirit of the season of giving and the season of friendship. And that is why we are bringing back again this year the WDW Radio Ornament Exchange, where you and your friends and your family can join in and do sort of a Secret Santa ornament exchange. If you go to, God, I get this wrong every time. If you go to www.radio.com/exchange18, it's free to sign up. All you need to do is sign up and commit to, you'll get, in a couple of weeks, you will get the name of your sort of Secret Santa ornament buddy, and you will send them an ornament that you buy, an ornament that you make. What you do is you go in, you'll share your name and address to our little Secret Santa elf. Thank you, Shannon. And she will randomly mix up the list and assign you an ornament buddy. And it's so much fun, not only not knowing who you're going to get it from, but what is going to come. You can specify your favorite movies, your favorite characters, your favorite attractions, but it really is up to your Secret Santa-ish person to do it. So I think as of right now, I got to double check. I think we have 250, 275 or so. I got to quickly double check and see. Okay, so we've got about 250 people signed up from 38 different states, as well as Ireland, Canada, Australia, and some folks over in the military. If you get one of those, that's something special because you know you're going to bring them a little bit of extra holiday magic this year. So there we go. Finally getting it right there. WDW Radio Ornament Exchange, open to anybody and everybody. Share this out. Invite your friends to be a part of it, too. It is a lot of fun. And please give a big round of applause to our volunteer Ornament Exchange elf, who probably bit off more than she thought she was going to get, as we have about, like I said, 250 people in already. But I think and I believe that the more the merrier. I definitely do want to talk about Destination D. I want to take your calls tonight, whether you were there or not. I want to hear not only about your thoughts about Destination D specifically, but really what I want to focus and drill down to are some of the announcements that we got at Destination D this past weekend, specifically about not only what is coming to Walt Disney World, but some additional details as well. So a lot of people thanking the elf, wishing happy Thanksgiving thoughts. Martin Shergold from the United Kingdom. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving, although I don't think that you guys do it there. It doesn't matter. It's all the spirit of the season. Also, by the way, I am going to announce the winner. Maybe I'll do it right now. Should I do it right now? Last week, I did a very informal, very impromptu, sort of a mini spread the word contest giveaway for anybody and everybody who shared out a link to last week's episode about Native American culture in the Disney parks and movies. Got some really wonderful feedback about that show from longtime listeners, new listeners, Native American listeners who had never discovered the show before, were sort of planning their first trip to the Disney parks. I would love for you to still, I still get it wrong. I'd love for you to still do me a favor and go ahead and share this out with your friends on your favorite group on the Twitter or the Facebook or the MySpace, Friendster, CompuServe, Prodigy Internet, your favorite bulletin board system, and or AOL, wherever it is that that you call home. Christina Cross is in Florida this week. Gosh, the weather's beautiful. Like, this week is the reason why people move to Florida. I was actually away for a couple of days elsewhere in Florida, celebrating not just my daughter's, but Mickey's 90th birthday. And good Gandhi, the weather was nice. It was just spectacular. So Jennifer's going to be at Disney next week. A lot of people coming to Disney. So what's the difference between Destination D and D23 Expo? So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So D23 Expo is a biannual, which I think still means every other year, gigantic weekend event at the Anaheim Convention Center out in California. Destination D are smaller themed events in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So this one was celebrating Mickey's 90th. There have been one celebrating the history of the Disney parks, Disney animation, Disney movies, and there are 2-day events that are much, much smaller. I think this one was about 1,600 people, and really, really such a nice job. I look forward to these events. Really, really enjoyed this one, especially day one, where we really got a lot of fun announcements about the Disney parks, which is sort of where I operate. I don't know when I say where I operate at. What I mean by that is it's where I eat, which is also why I'm wearing specifically my Mickey Mouse turkey legs, monorail, churro, and Space Mountain to actually read my shirt upside down. Heather Lynn, yes, I actually do remember MySpace. Remember like when you got your first friend like request from the guy like who invented MySpace, and you're like, wow, but he friended everybody. Sophie Kravitz loves Destination D. I do as well. So let's get right into that. Let's get right into Destination D because that really was the highlight of this past weekend. And before I even get started with going through some of the conversation and announcements, and yes, Melanie Jones, that question to Don Hahn was specifically for you. It was just so I could have a way to engage Don Hahn, who gave me a thumbs up at the end. I think he actually remembers the little guy that interviewed him so many years ago. If you remember what episode that was, do me a favor, share that in Tom the MySpace guy. There you go. So, Jana, it was so good to see you. And I love hugs. I do. They're better when they're not sweaty over marathon weekends. And that was a non-sweaty, lovely, wonderful hug, and always a pleasure to see you. What's the news, Lou? Sounds like exciting times at Martin. There's so much good stuff we have to talk about. And I am going to try and remember to make sure I load in some of the photos that I took while I was there. But first things first, D23 is celebrating that this is the 9th year. Obviously, next year is going to be a big decade-long, it's a year-long decades anniversary for D23 and the very small team. And I say that deliberately because I give them a lot of credit. They pull off extraordinary events with a very, very small group of people. And the D23's Vice President of special events, and Disney corporate creative resources, Michael Vargo, as well as my friend and yours, Jeffrey Epstein. If you're watching, I love you, brother. And the entire team do an incredible job putting on these events. I know from putting on small events just how many moving parts there are. Something of this magnitude, with getting so many people in the room and involved and doing so many, it takes a lot. So I give you guys a lot of credit. You can clearly tell that the people who are still running and managing and part of the D23 team, it comes from a place of passion. This is not a job for them. It's a job, obviously, but it's something that they do clearly out of love. And I dig it and I feel it. And there's a certain vibe and an energy in the room at the Destination D events because they're smaller, right? Because they're confined to one room. You're not going and picking what panel you want to get in line for. There's a different vibe there. The people who attend are, hardcore is not the right word, but they are the most enthusiastic and clearly passionate Disney fans, obviously with flexibility in your schedule to get there. But there's a sense of community, which is what D23 was predicated on when it was. I still remember going online and being part of that initial press conference when the What is 23, remember that 10 years ago, the What is 23 campaign was launched. We didn't know what it was, and they announced it being sort of a community for Disneyland. This was not going to be the Mickey Mouse Club rebirth. This was going to be something new, and I think you really feel that in some of these smaller events, and we'll get to some of the other events that they have planned for 2019 because they are they're not these grand monumental events like Expo, which if you can go, you need to go to. We'll be there again. Me, D23 at D23 with Becky Menken from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. The booth is back, baby. We're coming back. This is our fifth Expo? This is our fifth Expo. And super excited to be there on the floor again. But that being said, I want to quickly go over, if you weren't able to be there or follow along this past weekend, what Destination D was. So this really was, the theme was celebrating 90 years of Mickey Mouse. We've seen that a lot, from Good Morning America to the Disney Parks blog to those of us who are fans who are celebrating it. I was able to get in with some other media, again, thanks to D23 for the generous invitation and allowing us to get in. We got to get a preview of the Archives exhibit, which was called, here's one of the photos from the Archives. Excuse me. It was called Disney's Magical Kingdoms, and it was a history of Mickey Mouse, specifically in Disneyland and Walt Disney World and the other theme parks around the world. Here's a very, very early photo, obviously, of what I have to assume is meant to be Mickey and Minnie in Disneyland. There was also everything from different ear hats from around the world. There was a ton of other photos from Mickey. I'll take some of my photos, get them uploaded either to the blog or to the Facebook group. Director of Walt Disney Archives, Becky Klein, who, by the way, is not only the most knowledgeable and passionate person, but she's the nicest lady in the world. I think I can call her my friend. I think we're friends. We hugged. We're friends. She did a presentation called Weird Disney. If you thought that photo of Mickey and Minnie was weird, good golly, there was a lot of, and still are, a lot of interesting, borderline scary Mickeys that we have seen throughout the years, both in plush form, in knockoff form. I'm going to share some photos. It actually made me think about this. I was away this past couple of days, in a Florida beach town where, you go into one of the souvenir shops. There was a wide variety of shirts. I have a feeling were probably not officially licensed. I'm going to just go out on a limb. Stay tuned. I'll post those tonight, or maybe in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I'll post them tomorrow. But especially overseas and early on in the 20s and 30s, even early 40s, there was a lot of unlicensed Mickey Mouse merchandise and cartoons, and weird to say the least. Again, some of the stuff like this, the stuff of nightmares. Could you imagine a little kid running up and trying to meet and greet those things in the park? Yikes. There was also a panel by Don Hahn. I think I can call him my friend, too. It's a bit of a stretch, but maybe. I think he remembered me. Anyway, they did a panel of Mickey and at the movies. There was also the Fab Three voices of Bill Farmer, who's the voice of Goofy, Brett Iwan, the voice of Mickey, who I also interviewed on the show. Somebody link that up here, wherever you're watching. And Ashley Eckstein, who doesn't love... She is my friend. She and I have been planning something probably for 3 to 5 years that I think we're going to make happen at the beginning of 2019. I'm super excited. I love Ashley so very much. Anyway, they did the history of the voices that give life to the characters, and they also did a little sing-along to a Goofy movie, which I did not participate in for a variety of reasons. Composers Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman did a behind-the-scenes of Mary Poppins Returns, which is coming to a theater near you next month. Stay tuned. I have something else fun to share later, maybe next week. There was also a behind-the-scenes tour of the Mickey's True Original Exhibition, which is going on now in New York City. They gave sort of a virtual tour to attendees. Some Mickey Mouse Club moments, learned how to draw at the Animation Academy. Still can't draw to save my life. I think my artistic ability now at age 50, I own it, whatever, is probably not much better than my artistic quote-unquote ability at age 7. I have not evolved at all in that area. All the tools, all the techniques, just give me Microsoft Paint because that's about the extent of what I should be allowed to do. And they also went through the costumes of Mickey and Minnie and then revealed the new costumes for the 90th birthday of them both. You know, Minnie's not they gave it a lot of love on Sunday. Don't forget, it's Minnie's birthday too. Sunday was about Mickey and pals at the Disney parks. There was a panel about that, as well as Alex Wright, Wyatt Winter, and Jason Grant talking about the attractions through the years. 3 of my favorite Imagineers, not like in a Larry, Moe, and Curly kind of, or Three Musketeers, more like trio, but the nicest, smartest, again, enthusiastic and passionate guys. Tiffany, I am totally a 7-year-old kid at heart. I am a 7-year-old kid that is trapped in a 50-year-old body. And I wish it was a better body, but I'll take what they gave me. It's a little fluffier than I would like, although I'm doing nothing to help that. I ate so many fried grouper sandwiches this past couple days, it's not even funny. Anyway, Ashley Eckstein came back again to honor Minnie Mouse in a totally mini panel, and then brilliant Imagineers Kevin Rafferty and Sharita Carter talked about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, including how, and it's a small but important touch, how a lot of the sounds were created using the same instruments that were used during the films and shorts going back to the 1930s, going back to Jimmy McDonald, and some of the slide whistles that you hear for the steamboat there are the same ones that were actually taken from the Steamboat Willie film in 1928. And then later on that night, I missed this part, there was a Mickey's PJ party. And that's one of the things that Destination D does is, I think it was the last one, it was a tribute to the Rest in Peace Adventurers Club. This was a pajama party for Mickey Mouse, and everybody sort of came in their PJs, and there was snacks, and there was music and DJ. And I think there's a fun, again, community-based atmosphere that Destination D and D23 fosters with these events. And that's why, like, next year, they've got, for the 10-year anniversary, they have a lot of regional events, not just in Walt Disney World and Disneyland, but around the country. I'm going to quickly go through some of them, but obviously to find out more, visit the D23 website. You'll see an entire itinerary there. But there's lunches with Disney legends. There's Walt Disney Studios tours, which I'm taking off my glasses for effect. If you've never done it and have the ability to get out to Burbank, you have to do it. I don't know where they'll take you. I've done the D23 tour before. I've done the Backstage Magic tour. I don't know how much overlap there is between the two, but to be able to stand on that lot and walk where Walt walked, say that 3 times fast, and see the sounds. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you are a Disney fan or play one on TV, it's one that you need to do. There are some magical screening series of Sleeping Beauty that's in February. That's going to be in Burbank and here in Walt Disney World. a Linda Larkin lunch with the Disney legends. There is a family museum event, magical screenings of Lion King, a return to Walt's birthplace, more studio tours, member mixers celebrating 90 years of Marvel Comics. What the what? I didn't see that. Hold on. Mark that July 20th. I might need to get to San Diego. Celebrating 90 years of Marvel Comics. This guy. This guy. Yeah. Big fan of Marvel Comics. They're also doing some screenings of Indiana Jones, Sip and Strolls in Walt Disney World October 21st. D23 is going to head to Sleepy Hollow, New York. They're also going to do some other screenings of Up. There's going to be a holiday event in Walt Disney World in December, and then light up the season with D23. So there's a ton of things to do, no matter where you are or where you might happen to be. But for me, and I think a lot of people, the biggest part of the Destination D event this past weekend happened early Saturday morning when the chairman of Parks, Experiences, and Consumer Products, I have to get that right, Bob Chapek, talked about what's coming to Walt Disney World. And what I love about this event, and I think this is part of the reason to be part of this community for Disney fans, is that Bob made announcements. Bob, like we're on a first name basis. I guess we are, because he wears a name tag that says Bob. Bob made announcements and revealed details and new art that we hadn't seen elsewhere. It's not being released first on Disney's own blog or on the D23 website or through major media announcements. They give that to the fans first. And I think that reward for coming to these events and being part of D23 is part of what it's all about. This is why I was there. It is what I was most excited for. What I want to do is I want to go through some of these announcements quickly, and then I want you guys, I'll read your comments in the chat. By the way, don't forget to tag a friend, invite a friend to be part of the conversation. But I also want to take your calls and talk about what is most exciting or intriguing or interesting or confusing, whatever it might be that's coming. So let's go. We're going to go park by park, and we'll start over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I think there was a lot that was coming out, but the big takeaways is that there's going to be a new nighttime experience called The Wonderful World of Animation, which is going to launch at the studios in May 2019 with possibly a new logo for the studios. I think that's what we're hearing is coming in January as part of the 30th anniversary. Anyway, they're going to use some of this projection mapping technology to take guests on a journey through 90 years of Disney animation. It's going to start with Mickey. It's probably going to come full circle. Spoiler alert. Probably going to start and end with the big cheese himself. We learn more about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is going to open in fall 2019. We don't have an exact date, but we got an idea in these pictures I took with my camera from what was up on the screen about how there's going to be not just an original story, but an original theme song that's going to take you into the world in this 2.5D experience. 3.5, something like that. A 2.5D experience, 3.5D. It's not quite 4D. It's 3.5D. Through the Mickey Mouse cartoon shorts, what I anticipate is that we are going to get the use of some very new and unique technology that is going to be integrated into this attraction that we have not seen before. Again, this is the first time that Mickey and Minnie are going to have an attraction of their own. You know, we've had shows, we've had the Mickey Mouse Revue in the park, but never something like this. A lot of people were ridiculously excited. There was cheers and ahs and oohs and ahs coming from the crowd as details about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge were coming out. We got the names of the two new attractions. They're going to be Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. We also found out that John Williams is going to create the score and heard a little bit, and it's got that original sort of gritty Star Wars Episode 4 and Empire Strikes Back feel to it, which I dig a lot, much more than the new stuff. With Smuggler's Run, we got to see some of the concept art. I shared these photos in the Box People group. You can go check them there. I'll also try and drop some in here while we're chatting too. I'm doing like multiple jobs all at the same time. It's going to be, to a certain degree, like a mission space type experience. And what I mean by that is you are going to have one of 4 different roles in the Millennium Falcon. So there's going to be 4 people in a cockpit, which makes me think there's going to be multiple. I mean, there's one cockpit, but you know what I'm saying. And the Rise of the Resistance, is going to drop you into a battle going on between the First Order and the Resistance, including, this is not a spoiler alert, but spoiler alert, a climactic battle with Kylo Ren himself. He's a bit of a whiner. But I get it. That's fine. What I think we're also taking away, especially from this attraction, is it's going to be very, very interactive. And what I mean by that is it's a word that's getting thrown around a lot, and as well it should, because this one is going to integrate, optionally, if you want, with the Play Disney Parks app. So, again, what I think we're taking from this is confirmation of what we've been thinking and talking about in terms of things that are going to happen in the attractions are going to impact your experience in the park itself. To that point, and to extend that further, if you are one of the lucky few to stay at the Star Wars themed resort hotel, named TBD, I believe what happens at the hotel will affect your experiences in the parks and vice versa. Things you do, things you buy, interactions you have in the parks and the hotel will sort of go in between the resort and your experiences in the park as well as in the attraction itself. So I think we're going to see a new depth and layer in terms of what our experiences are going to be like, and more importantly, how much we have to control and create unique experiences for ourselves. The repeatability factor for these attractions is going to be huge if we now have a say in sort of choosing our own adventure. Like kids, remember those books? You're going to be able to sort of choose your own adventures in the parks as well. Moving over to Epcot, we have found out that the new show that's going to replace Moment of Silence, Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, is going to have massive floating set pieces, LED panels, choreographed fountains, lights, pyrotechnics, lasers, and it's going to debut in 2020. And although we don't have a name for it yet, what it's going to do is the story is going to be based on how Disney music inspires people around the world. Like you. Don't lie. I know you have a Disney playlist on your Zune or your iPod or your iRiver or whatever MP3 device it is that you're using. Admit it, you have a Disney playlist there, or Spotify, wherever it might be. And I know I see a lot of people saying they are going to miss Illuminations. We all will. See it while you can. But wait, there's more. Because in between, because remember I said that Illuminations is going to end at some point soon. In between, there's going to be a limited time experience called Epcot Forever. It's going to debut next fall and feature classic Epcot songs, fireworks, lighting, lasers, choreographed special effects, kites in the air. Think back to things like Skylidoscope. I think I'm more excited for Epcot Forever because I dig retro Epcot Center, and it's going to play to the Disney fan and the nostalgic in all of us. That's the one that I think is going to bring me to tears. I dig me some veggie fruit and the Astuter Computer Review, and I want to listen to the land we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. I am going to be belting out songs if I can stop chewing while I'm watching the show for 5 minutes or so. Jeff Pra has music on the Disney Mix Stick. Dude, that's OG, man. That's a blast from the past. A lot of people, what's going to happen when everybody loves Epcot Forever and doesn't want it to go away? Jay, I thought the same thing. You know, people are going to fall in love with this, and then all of a sudden we're only going to have it for about a year or so. I don't know how they're going to mitigate all the tiers that are going to come. We found out the name of the Ratatouille attraction is now going to be called Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And much to the joy and the delight of many people in the box, Melanie Jones, you know I'm talking to you, there's going to be a new Beauty and the Beast sing-along over at the France Pavilion in Epcot Center, created by Don Hahn, tall gentleman, very, 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 very smart, who is the producer of both the animated and the live-action Beauty and the Beast. I was able to talk to Don. I asked him a question if he could share any details. He, of course, could not. I was hoping to pry a little bit of something out of him in terms of what this was going to be like. I couldn't get him to say anything on the record. There's also going to be an update to the O Canada show. They are filming right now in Canada, the land of Tim Horton and Poutine and Martin Short and William Shatner. They are filming a brand new 360-degree attraction for O Canada. No date has been set in terms of when it is going to launch. Over in Magic Kingdom, starting in January through September, we're going to get Mickey and Minnie's Surprise Celebration, new food, new merchandise, new entertainment, and new food, which is really the thing that I was hung up on. There's also going to be a new dance party, wicka wicka wah, with Mickey and Minnie and all their friends. They're going to have their new birthday outfits on, which are quite smashing, I could say. A celebration station at Town Square Theater where you can go in and give Mickey and Minnie your best wishes by signing the guest book. A new song called It's a Good Time. I'm not going to even try and sing it because I don't know how it goes. And some new meet and greet experiences throughout the parks as well. There's also, and I dig this a lot for a lot of reasons, there's going to be a new resort coming to Bay Lake over at Walt Disney World. It's going to be called Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge. It's going to be a deluxe nature-inspired resort with over 900, count them, 900 hotels and rooms and proposed Disney Vacation Club villas. I dig a lot. Disney's Riviera Resort is going to open in the fall. We got some more concept art there. A lot of you have been asking about this little guy. This is a concept art piece that I had not seen earlier. The Skyliner is going to debut in fall 2019. They had one right there for all of us to see and photograph and fawn over. Now listen, I am hearing and seeing and getting many questions about the Skyliners not having air conditioning. I do believe in my little heart of hearts that Disney is not going to create a little tempest in a teapot pressure cooker that is going to be flying over there's going to be some sort of air circulation system in there. Don't fret. Don't sweat. I mean, August is going to be August, but for those of you who get worried and nervous and mad and upset and plant your stake in the ground, this is me. This is Lou the Optimist, and it's not just about Disney. I am an optimist by nature. I take a more wait and see attitude. I will not condemn or I don't freak until I see it for myself, right? So let's wait until those buckets are up there. Let's wait till we start rotting them. Let's wait until the warm air starts to come, which happens in March. I think that's when summer officially begins here in Florida. Let's wait and see. Many of those same people who said, I'm never going to Pandora when it was announced, I'm never going to step foot, are now like, Pandora is awesome. I'll wait 6 hours for Flight of Passage. Wait and see about, you know who you are. Wait and see for the Skyliner in terms of where it's going to be. Disney, obviously, they know what they're doing. They are not going to sort of put these pressure cookers up there. Aaron says, exactly. Disney's not dumb. They know Florida summer's hot and spring and fall and part of winter. And I trust that they found a solution to that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Remember, the old Skyway buckets didn't have air conditioning either. They were sort of open on the sides. And those got a little toasty in the summer too. Just chill. Just chill. I again, I have not ridden in one. I could be completely wrong. It could be, Eric Ring says big guests in a cone. If that's the case, then they will have to find a way to mitigate that. If they find that this, whatever sort of air circulation system, and I'm guessing that there has to be one in there, is not going to be enough, something will have to change because they're not going to invest the time and the money and the resources into putting something up that people are not going to enjoy riding. This, to me, is going to be as much of an attraction as it is a conveyance system. That's how I see it. I don't look at it as saying, I'm going to go park at Epcot and then take the Skyliner to X or go park it. For me, as a local, I see this as an attraction and a way to get unique views of the parks, of the property, of fireworks. Like, that's how I view it. But again, I'm taking a more wait and see approach. Paul Clark, it's called ventilation and reflective windows. So from what I understand, there is a technology that is going to be in play on these windows that is going to limit the amount of the blazing, burning sun that is going to be there. But again, we have to wait and see exactly what that's going to look like. But when I see concept art like this, like that, that's what gets me excited. I loved the Skyway buckets as a kid in terms of getting some of those unique views. That is what I'm looking for here. Can I get a hat, pants, and shirt made of the same material and those reflective windows? If they could sell those in the parks, remember the old Mickey spacesuit Mickey from the early 80s Epcot Center? Just very quickly, going over to Disneyland, there's going to be a new Get Your Ears On Mickey and Minnie celebration with new entertainment, food, merchandise, and food. And Mickey's Mix Magic is going to debut in Disneyland with new projections, lasers, and music that's going to create a park-wide dance party. And, much to the delight of many Disneyland fans, Mickey's Sensational Parade is returning to Disneyland Park starting in January 2019 with a new float at the beginning of the parade featuring, who else? Churros. No, it's going to feature Mickey Mouse. And, not to be outdone, on Disney Cruise Line, Mickey and Minnie are going to have a surprise party at sea. So there's lots to celebrate over the next year in terms of the parks and the attractions and Mickey and Minnie and D23. So I would love to, and I'm going to open up the phone lines. So wait a minute. As soon as I get this fired up, I want to open up the phone lines, and I want to hear from you either about your experiences as a D23 member, Destination D, D23 Expo, anything that we have covered here. I didn't even talk about, but I think I can now. Yes, I can now because now it's officially official. The Spider-Man attraction, the Spider-Man open house. Calm down. Spider-Man open house that's coming to Disney California Adventure. The name of the show might change, by the way, just so you know, to the DCA Radio show, because I might just pack up. We're moving to Disneyland because there's a Spider-Man attraction out there. But what I want to do is I want to take some of your calls right here, 407-413-WDW1. You're going to have to look at your keypad to see exactly, but WDW is 9391. Carrie's Array is going to be at Disney 20. I can't wait to see you again at D23. We always seem to get together at large fan gathering. Becky and I are already talking about our booth for next year, and maybe, just maybe, I'll do another, I will do another Disneyland quest. So, is my refrigerator running? No, but my poor little laptop that could is working itself. So, a couple months ago, my computer died. I'm running on an old laptop. I have a little jar of pennies over here that I'm saving for a. Speaking of which, by the way, so I kid you not, this is where things like the WDW Radio Nation really can help the show, because when we need to upgrade equipment and get a new laptop so it doesn't struggle like the little engine that could, that's where you being part of the WDW Radio Nation absolutely helps. But if you want to call in, like I said, talk about D23, anything that is coming to the parks, any of the announcements, this week's show, last week's show. Why wasn't there a show earlier this week? I had a guest cancel. Stay tuned. I'm recording it up again this weekend. Call in 407-413 and let me open up oh, my goodness. It's been ringing all along. Why can I not see this? There we go. Holy cow. There we go. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hello, it's Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
I swear, I don't know your phone number. When it pops up there, I just clicked on the first one, and it's Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York.
Oh, good gracious.
Long-time listener, long-time caller. It is good to hear from you, and happy Thanksgiving. So what of the announcements are you most excited about?
Oh, good gracious. Okay, so...
Pick one. Don't be Lou. Pick one.
How do I pick one? You know me by now. You know I'm going to pick more than that. I'm really, really excited to get into the Star Wars resort. I want to experience that 3 days and see what it's like to be maybe a stormtrooper or Darth Vader or Princess Leia.
I was saying, look at you going to the first two things she wanted to be was on the dark side. That says a lot about you, Darlene.
And I just think that everything that they're coming up with and that they announced, and I was like so surprised that they announced so much so early with, the Runaway Train and the new resort by Wilderness Lodge, especially because they've got that new beautiful resort going in by Caribbean Beach. I mean, oh my goodness, they've got so much starting so fast in the next couple years. It's going to be such a different experience to be down there and that, and I'm hoping I'm living down there then. I
know. I think the thing I'm most excited for is the new resort, because I've known that there's been more resorts coming, and this is off the record, this is my speculation, I don't believe that the new Reflections Resort and the new Riviera Resort are the end of announcements that are coming in the near future to Walt Disney World. I believe there is a want, and more importantly, a need for more guest rooms. I can foresee. It's easy to see, hard to foresee, but I would guess, pure speculation, that we will see a resort in or near the Disney Springs area, because I think it absolutely needs one there. I think there's more convention space that's needed. I would not be surprised to see more development on and around Bay Lake. I believe that Garden Wing of Disney's Contemporary Resort is in its final phases, and there's a few other locations that I think we'll start to see, maybe even closer to a little place known as Disney's Animal Kingdom. So,
and that would be a perfect spot to put another resort, especially because you have Animal Kingdom. Maybe they could even add on to, Jumbo House or something, and continue on there, because that resort does get booked up sometimes. Yep. I was lucky I got a room the one time I wanted to take Keith for our anniversary, and we just stayed 2 days. That was it. But it's the perfect, when we go there, Lou, we do not leave the resort, really. That is like what...
Right, because that resort's an attraction in and of itself. So I can see why.
Exactly.
I can see why.
It is such a wonderful venue, especially having all those Savannah views and stuff. If anybody can get there and stay on a Savannah, get up really early, sit on your balcony, have breakfast, and watch them take care of the animals. Right. It is so... it's just sit there and you're just in like zen.
So Paul Clark just says, is there room for another resort near Disney Springs? Paul, I believe there is. I believe down by where Cirque du Soleil is, in one of the lots all the way in the back. I think there's space back there, but I'm speculating. But Darlene, I'm going to take another call. I want to wish you and your hubby a very, very happy Thanksgiving.
And me to you. Love you, Lou. Have a great one.
Right back at you, kid.
Bye.
Bye. So again, the other resorts that are this is my speculation. I also believe that you will see an expansion of Epcot, and I think we're going to get that announcement at Expo next year. You will see an expansion of Epcot specifically on the World Showcase side, but that's just me guessing. Let's take another call. Hey, it's Lou. You are on the air.
Hi, Lou. It's Judy Pavarini.
Judy Pavarini. Always good to. I want to say it's old home week, but not that you're old. But it's, you know what I mean. It's longtime friends week.
I hear you. You know what announcement I would be very interested in hearing? Who won the contest for sharing last week's show?
I have that. I have the winners. I have the winner's name right here. But I will announce it. I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to announce that after we take some calls about some of the Destination D and D23 announcements. How's that?
No problem. I just had to give you that gentle reminder.
I will not forget until I forget.
All right. I really don't know what announcement I am most excited about, but I can tell you that it's a good time to be a DVC member because I see a lot of trips in my future.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So, all right. Just wanted to give you a nudge about that announcement, and thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
All right,
bye-bye.
Judy, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, they're coming in fast and furious, not like the 19 movies. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hey, Lou. How you doing?
Hey, who's this?
Anthony Mole. How are you?
Anthony Mole. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, my friend. I agree with you about the hotels. I'm excited they're adding different levels of hotels, and I think that the Skyliner is going to kind of really bring a lot of those moderates and bring it up a notch. And I think they're going to start to bring up the values up a notch too.
Well, and I think what we're starting to see too, Anthony, is all of the resorts are always going through refurbishments. So look at some of the new rooms at places like Pop Century. I mean, they're completely renovated, and it gives it a much more modern, upscale, cleaner look than it had before. So as even new resorts are being added, they're also continuing to update. Look, that tower that they're building over at Coronado Springs and that new entrance is going to be spectacular. It's a construction zone right now, but go look at some of that concept art, and I think I published it in the Box People group. It is beautiful, and imagine the views that you're going to have from the top of that tower, especially while you're having dinner.
So I've got a question. I mean, what's preventing Disney? I know that they can't put Marvel properties in the parks, but what's preventing them from putting them in the hotels?
So it's not necessarily park specific. It is it's a presence of Marvel east of the Mississippi. However, and I know I've said this for a while, but I do really believe it, Anthony, that I believe, especially after this Fox deal is done, I think these are dominoes that are starting to fall. They're all actually connected. And I do believe, especially because Universal is so limited, and we're seeing that as they're expanding and building parks that are miles away from the current Universal Studios here in Florida, they have a need for space. We have a need for those properties. They don't like opening up their books and sharing they can't. I mean, I just can't imagine that. They are only limited to using those characters as they appeared in their original comic book form. I get it. I dig it. But no kid understands why Wolverine and Green Goblin and Spidey look the way they do at Universal. It can potentially be a win-win for everybody. I think the new Spider-Man attraction that's going over to Disneyland.
Oh my gosh!
Oy vey, please.
Oh my!
My brains fell out of my head when I saw that. That is going to be, I think, the ushering in of, again, a continuing presence of Marvel in the domestic parks, not just in Disneyland. I believe, and maybe it's little 7-year-old Lou Mongello wishing beyond wishing, but I believe that within the next 3 years, that Universal deal will change, and we will start to see plans coming for a Marvel presence in Disney World. It has to. I just think it has to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to take up any more of your time or anybody else's time, but happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And hope to see you sometime in the December timeframe.
Yes, man. And I owe you a handshake and a hug and a meal. You sent me an incredibly wonderful and delicious gift that I went and ordered. I ordered more of those Terrells from so they're so good. Oh, my gosh. So thank you very much for being so generous, buddy.
Anytime, my friend. You have a good one.
You too, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
He sent me, have you ever had an Italian Terrell? They're like round, they're like thin, almost like donuts, but they're hard, and they're made with like anise. Oh, my God, they're so good. I'm going to have 19 of them tonight because I haven't had them in, a couple hours. The rumored technology for the Spider-Man attraction sounds amazing. Steven, I agree. I had seen the article on New York Times this weekend. I shared it. Then I found out that maybe they jumped the gun and it wasn't official. And then Marvel finally confirmed it a couple of days later on. But yeah, if you look at some of the patent filings over the last couple of years, that ride system for that Spider-Man open house, is probably going to be something unlike anything we have seen before. So I am curious to see what is going to come there. Let's take a couple more calls. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air. Hello. All right, lost that one. Let's try again. Take a couple more calls. Then we will announce a couple of things and let you get back to your holiday cooking or holiday eating. I can't cook, fortunately, and plus it's probably a good thing because I would probably end up eating more than I cooked anyway. So, Amber Bramwell, so excited about Marvel. I am as well. Let's take it again. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air. Who's ever trying to call in, I think you have to turn off the sound from your thing and just listen in your phone, or we have a bad connection. I'll take one more call, and then we will announce the winner of last week's Spread the Word Native American Culture in the Disney Parks show. Let me go back, open this back up again here. All right, let's take one more call. Again, you can talk about D23, any of the announcements, what you're most excited for, what you're most looking for, or look, you can tell me what your favorite thing you plan on eating tomorrow for Thanksgiving is. I don't really care. What time and where is the December meet of the month? It's most likely going to be on Saturday, December 8th. I don't have a specific location as yet. I have a few ideas in my mind, but nothing definitive as yet. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and make it somewhere we can enjoy some of the holiday happenings at Walt Disney World. So I'm thinking it could be Springs. I'm thinking it could be Epcot Center. I'm just not 100% sure yet. The months are flying by way too quickly. So, all right. So maybe no more calls then. Oh, you know what? I've had this turned off. That's why I had it back on Do Not Disturb. There you go. But what I will do is this, because I know some of you are waiting for it. I think last week in my sleep and food deprived state, I said, let's have a little bit of a contest. I was really excited about the Native American culture in the Disney Park show. I think it was something that was unique, something that hadn't really been discussed before. And so I said, I always ask you guys to spread the word. And so I asked you to spread the word on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Tag me. I know some of you reached out to me. You had a difficult time tagging me. I have a solution to that going forward. Don't worry. But what I did was I took all of the mentions and the shares and the retweets and the reshares on Insta and any other way that you shared that episode out. I put them all together and I randomly selected one. It had nothing to do with how many likes or hearts or tweets or comments or anything that you got. It was a matter of helping to spread the word. I so very much appreciate all of you who have done that in the past, who did it this past week. And going forward, understand you sharing these episodes with your friends, your fans, your followers, your community, wherever you are able to post it. That is the most important way that this community, that this family can grow. It's not, I don't place ads. I don't promote stuff. I don't pay to, that's not how I want the WDW Radio family and community to grow. That's why you are so welcoming. Why people feel comfortable coming here is because the people who are here came that way, because you helped to spread the word. All the things, the good things that happened to and for WDW Radio, like being invited to be part of Pandora's initial round of podcasts next month, that has nothing to do with me. That's all you, and you guys helping to spread the word. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I'm grateful to you guys for making that happen. Martin, I was food deprived, but I'm going to have some of your crisps tonight when I go downstairs, and I don't really have a lot of time tonight because I have so much work to catch up on, but I digress. But I'm going to have them. Jeremy Goff, always good to see you, brother. But I did take all of the shares, however it is that you did it, whether I was actually tagged or not, and I randomly selected one winner. And I have this person's name right here. And I will share that winner's name with you when we come back. No, I'm kidding. The winner of last week's Impromptu Box People Spread the Word contest is somebody who I've known for... No, I'm only kidding. It is Lisa Milam. So, Lisa, if you are in the box, if you are watching live, let me know so I can see it here in the comments. If not, congratulations to you. Everybody else, give Lisa a big round of applause. I promise I will do that again. What do we have for her, Johnny? Nothing. We have nothing. We have nothing in the prize closet for her. I don't believe that. I don't believe it, because what I thought we would give Lisa is literally this big, heavy mystery box. I will tell you, there is a cool, unique prize in here. I don't know if it's something that's sold in stores. It's something or some things that tie into what we have been talking about tonight. Lisa, if you're here, let me know in the comments. Let me know in your comments, and I will. It is not popcorn, because you know Melanie Jones, I would not give that away. If you're here, or should I just send it to her? Do you guys want to see what it is? If you're here and you give me permission, I'll open it. Otherwise, I'll just send it to you. So, Lisa Milam, you need to give me send me your, I have it. You're actually, you know what? I take that back. Lisa is a member of the WDW Radio Nation family. So I have your name and your address. I will put this on here so I don't forget to send it out. It is not a Disneyland chimichanga, because you know I would have eaten that earlier. His name is Johnny. That's the guy he talked to. I just made it up because it's like Johnny Olsen from the old... but I will tell you this. It is not a Scotch. This is not... Well, wait a minute. I take that back. This is sort of a combo prize, because this is really cool. This is really, really cool. It celebrates 90 years of Mickey Mouse, but it also involves food. Oh, wait. I don't want you guys to... Wait, you can't see that. It also involves food. So this is sort of part collectible and part edible. It's an edible collectible, but the collectible part is not edible. So there you go. But unfortunately, Lisa's not here, so the mystery shall remain a mystery. But I do believe, Yeah, I think this box celebrates 90 years of Mickey and his iconic style. I'm still looking to see if Lisa is here. It is not a birthday cake, although there are edible things in there. If I hear from Lisa, I will post a photo of it in the Box People group. Drew wants to know, how do I become a part of the WDW Radio Nation? I'm so glad you asked. If you go to www.radionation.com, you can find out how you can help support the show and get cool rewards every month. So depending on your level, there's monthly scavenger hunts. We do live video group calls. Next one is going to be actually next week, I think. There is special merchandise. There's early access to special events, and you also get the warm and fuzzies of helping to keep the lights and, thankfully, the air conditioning on here at the WDW Radio International Studios. So there you go. It is not a cake. It is definitely not a cake. It is something that will survive the mailing process. How's that? It is not 90-year-old chocolate Mickey bar. Jerry Owens just joined the nation. Jenny Owens just joined the nation. So happy, finally able. Thank you so very, very much. Anthony Mollet, I am going on Monday, which is a good reminder to let me know. Monday, I will be live. Oh, will I? I might be traveling Monday. No, I'm traveling Tuesday. To where? You'll have to wait. I will be live Monday from Epcot Center for holidays around the world. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right, so let's see. We've got the ornament exchange. Don't forget about that. We've got the contest prize winners. I will be broadcasting from a mystery location next Tuesday and Wednesday. So next Wednesday, stay tuned. Turn on notifications. I might be in the air. I don't know what time. I might be either in the air or at the airport because I'm going to be in California. I don't know the time difference and what I'm going to be where. But stay tuned. I will be live next week at some point, hopefully from a very cool location that I can share with you. Somebody asked me about this the other day. I will do a more formal discussion. So, the ornament exchange, I did mention it earlier. Marie, you have, I believe, a few more days to go to www.com/exchange18, and then our magical little WDW Radio elf, whose name I will not share, but she is awesome. Shannon, we love you. Is going to take care of all that. Melanie, I'm going to be gone Tuesday, and then I think I do a red eye Wednesday night. So that's not going to screw up my sleep schedule or work schedule at all, but I don't care because it's going to be worth it, and it's going to be awesome. So, did you order a Kringle cake for the holidays? Not yet, Paul, because I knew I was going to be away this week. I'm going to be away part of next week. What else? Yes. So somebody asked me if I was serious a couple of weeks ago about looking for an intern and some help on the social media thing. I am, and I will talk more about that after the holiday. But if that's something that you are interested in, you can start I wanted to kind of plant the seed. I'm going to look for some help on the social media and video front of things. Jim, there will be a show next week. I promise. But finally, I want to tell you, and I'm not going to get all weepy. I want to tell you in the spirit, why am I have these on? In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I say this every year because I mean it and I don't care if I sound like a broken record. This is a time for us to be aware of gratitude, which is something I think that we unfortunately lack individually and collectively on a daily basis. You shouldn't have to wait for a day or a tragedy or something to happen for you to let somebody know that you appreciate them, that you love them, that you are thankful for them, and to internally be self-aware of the gratitude that you should have for all of the good things and the blessings that you have, however large or small. To that point, my hand to God, I am thankful for you every single day. Not a day goes by, not a morning goes by that I wake up and I step into this office, usually in my pajamas, and I sit down to quote-unquote work, and I stop and I'm like, you allow me to do what I do. You give me this gift of filling my cup with joy and passion and being able to share this thing that I love with you in so many ways. I don't need a special day to say thank you. I don't need a special day for Mother's Day. I don't need a special day and I say that because that's not about me. I say that because I want you to know that this is about you. This is about my appreciation to you and for you. I say it every week on the show. I say it every week here, but it's something I feel every single day. And in this time of Thanksgiving, whether you celebrate it wherever you're from or not, take that extra moment to make sure you don't just feel thankful, but you express your gratitude, because there's going to come a time where it might be too late, and don't wait for that to happen. Sometimes telling somebody how much you appreciate them is the best gift that you can give them, other than an opening day ticket to the Spider-Man attraction at Disney California or a Cajun Kringle. That being said, I love you guys. I mean that, and if you know me, as many of you do, the L word is not one that I throw around lightly, but I love you and I appreciate you, and I hope that you know that every day. This is not a job. This is not a podcast. This is not. This is what I get to do as an expression of my gratitude to you, and I hope and I do what I do in the hopes that whether it's this show or the podcast or a tweet or whatever brings a little bit of joy and happiness and a smile to your face every day, especially and if and when you might need it most. So I love you. I appreciate you. I am grateful to you and for you. And I hope that you and your family have a very happy, blessed, delicious Thanksgiving whenever, wherever, however it is that you celebrate it. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Enjoy those Black Friday sales tomorrow. Get out there. Be the man or woman. Take no prisoners, but don't get violent. Be thankful. It's only a stupid TV at Walmart. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Early next week, Monday, I'll be from Epcot. Tuesday and Wednesday from a secret special. I almost gave it away. Winds in the East. I've said too much. I love you. Happy Thanksgiving.